Okay, we're back for the next stage of this repair, and I did find out that this piece of iron in here does belong in these InfoGlobes. So it was designed to be put into this thing. Because as you've seen in a previous video, I opened another one live on camera and found out that these are in here. So this is what I'm talking about, is this contraption, and it goes inside. So the bigger holes is where the circuit board standoffs goes, and the smaller ones are where the once upon a time screws used to go to. There used to be bosses for them, but they are this is all that's left of them. There's both of them, so they're busted off. So something like that, you won't be able to really fix it correctly because they're long gone, and it'll never survive another shipping trip. So apparently this was done during shipping. That's what Brown does for you. They smash everything. So we still want to retain this because it's part of the design. I guess it's to keep it from walking, because it's got these little guys. They do got rubber feet, so in case there's any buzzing around. So we're gonna hot glue this sucker back in, and then put things back together so we can do the verify of complaint repair. So I'm gonna just use some man's hot glue. So we're gonna break out the Binford 3200 industrial man's hot glue gun that uses pucks. We use pucks, not sticks. Get out of here with your sticks. So we'll just throw him back in there, and then we'll just give a nice generous glob of glue. Then we'll throw some more in that little hole. Kind of make like a little bent over like plastic rivet, but in hot glue. So while that's setting, I can disconnect my glue gun and get the cord out of my way. Put him out of the way so he doesn't do anything weird. Now we'll put the PCB back in. Make sure we're not pinching any wires, because there might be a possibility I might be taking this PCB out again for a modification, but I don't know. First we have to see if this old girl is going to work again before we start thinking about mods. So I'm going to verify that I got my little enameled wires out of the way and get everything else in its little happy spot, if it has one. Okay, that's that. So there's one broken screw boss on the PCB that fell victim to UPS, but we still got two to hold it in. So we'll put them little guys back in. That's the wrong one. Don't belong there. You're too skinny. That's for the switch, the safety switch. And then we'll put the little safety switch back in. So we'll line up the pins. And now we can put that one screw back in. And then I disconnected the ground because I had to take the motor apart. And I did this off camera because the motor, if you've seen that when I first plugged it in, the motor started to spin and then it just locked right up. So the motor was knackered and it needed a little TLC. So I had to work some magic on it to get it to spin, and it was making a ticking noise. So something was rubbing and stuff like that. So I don't know exactly what was going on, but I got it to spin freely again and reliably, hopefully. Okay, that's that. Now I'm just going to leave them wires hanging out like that. And I'm going to put the top deck back on. So this is the top deck. And then we'll put the buttons back in. But I'm getting ahead of myself because I forgot to put the motor wires back on the circuit board. What the heck is this? So if you remember that I marked these enameled wires so I could put them back where they belonged. Takes care of that. So make sure these are out of the way. Now we can put the top deck back on. Just got to make sure you line up all the two LEDs if they get out of whack, because it doesn't take much to get them out of alignment, because they're on tall leads, so it doesn't take much to bend them. Now we will put the arm back on. And then we'll see. We'll get something to stick in there. Make sure it depresses. We're going to plug her in and see what she does. Okay. So now we're going to trip the old switcher. So at least we got it to spin. Oh, we got something. Oh, we got knackered. We got knackered solder joints. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. Let me turn this off. Still don't know if you can see it. I'll have to turn the big lights off too. Because I don't have the globe on, so it's probably going to be hard to see. Now it's pretty dark. You can see the other light coming on. See, like right now, now that I got everything, now that I restarted it again, this couple of more segments come on, and that's the broken solder joints. Sometimes they'll make connections, sometimes they won't. Because right now there's only 2 segments that are out, and when I first plugged it in, there was about 3. So this was a good test to test the workings of the globe here, because I told David, I says, yeah, when this thing showed up here, it was, you know, that weight was loose in there, and the you seen on camera that when I first fired it up, it spun for a second or two, and then it just locked right up. And there was nothing in the motor to jam it. It's just that, for whatever reason, there's some spacers on the upper motor shaft, and it looks like they got compressed a little bit. So I just took a regular flat blade, because there's a cover on the motor. You've probably seen that silver cover on the motor. So when you take the 3 screws out, the motor comes off, and that like cover comes off too. So there's two spacers on the underside of that motor cover. So they're split, and I just took a flat blade and just give it a little, just tiny little bit, and that's all it took to get this motor to spin freely again. Because one thing I wanted to make sure is I did not damage this motor at all, because if something happens to that inductive transformer that sends power, because them 2 enameled wires that I was talking about, I said it was communication wires. They're not communication wires. It's to send power to the arm. So it goes through the motor windings there, the transformer in there, inductor type thingy, whatever makes it run. And then as it's spinning, you know, it makes the power transfer, so it goes up the arm, so that the arm can get its power, so it can do its thing. So I says to him, I says, I wanted to get that motor running, because if that motor don't run, it's used. This thing is a boat anchor. It's a paperweight, because it's the motor in that inductive capacitive transformer, or whatever the hell is that makes this arm, powers this arm. I says, if that's bad, it's game over for this thing. There's no fixing it. You can't fix it, just other than getting another InfoGlobe off Fleablade or something like that. So we verified that we got the motor spinning freely now. We verified that there's broken solder joints. So now it's just a matter of rehabbing this thing. So, like when I tested the LEDs with my little homemade DIY tester there, the very bottom LED was the brightest of the bunch, because it's the least used of the other 7. So we'll be putting all brand new LEDs on it, and then we'll be fixing the right angle joint here, and it should be 100% operational. And then after that, after it's verified that it's working correctly, then it might be mod time. So mod time is going to be hacking the center LED here, and then hooking that up to a little Arduino board, a little Wi-Fi. So it's going to be a Wi-Fi board that's going to collect data, and it can collect, depending on how the little Arduino little bugger is programmed. It can be grab the weather, it can grab stocks or general headline news, or you can have it paste messages if you want. And like I did mention, that if that is the case, unfortunately, and it's kind of sad, but the rest of the globe here is just an anchor, a paperweight, because the once you sever that lead, then it don't matter what the little PCB in there is doing. It's going to be sending its information out, and it's just going to be saying Olympia InfoGlobe, and that's about it, because it's not going to get out, because it won't be able to talk, because we severed the LED, so that the new controller, which will hang out under here, will be doing all the talking to the LED, and then the magic spinning arm here decodes and displays the message. So our next video is I get the big mighty microscope out, and then we'll be fixing up the right angle joint and putting all brand new LEDs in. So till next time, we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.